welcome to the 1 year anniversary of the Big Brain Time Debate podcast. My name is Seth.
I'm Kyle.
I'm Myra.
I'm Joey, and I'm honored to be here because this is like my 4th episode, but celebrating the anniversary, that's nice.
Yeah. All right, so I decided since the first episode we ever did was on Jar Jar Binks, it would only be fitting if, for our 1 year anniversary of this podcast, we should do a blind reading of a Jar Jar Binks fan fiction. Now, I say blind reading. I have already read this to make sure it is podcast appropriate. They are going in with no knowledge of what this is going to be. Also, I'm sending it to the group chat.
Be afraid.
So
be very afraid.
Yeah, be very afraid. So Jared's just going to get this on his phone with no context.
That's fine.
All right. So we're each going to split up who reads it.
We're doing alphabetical, so Ira would be starting.
Yeah. And then about a fourth of the way through, I'm going to say stop, and then we're going to switch to the next person, stop, switch to the next person, stop, switch to the next person, so that we all get our time reading Jar Jar Binks fan fiction for the world.
I'm just going to say right out front, I'm not happy about this, but I'm doing it.
He's a good friend.
I've got like a gut feeling that one of my parents is going to walk in like right when I'm reading.
That would be bad.
Okay. Do you have it? Does everybody have it pulled up so we can all read along?
Yep.
I do.
All right. Blow us away, Ira.
All right, then. Giving a Gungan a home. George and I had wanted to adopt a pet for a long time, but I had always been cautious about going to an animal shelter because I knew I would just want to take them all home. That's why I let the rehoming agent go in on my behalf. Best let her pick a pet for me. Little did I know that her choice would change my life forever, and that my new pet would quite literally be out of this world. After waiting for what seemed like an eternity, she finally emerged. We have been struggling to find a home for this boy for a while, she said, as she made her way out to the shelter. I looked for the hand in her lead, but there wasn't one. My eyes moved to the floor where I expected to see my new companion paddling behind her. But no, this creature was quite capable of following on its own accord. I slowly looked up into the biggest pair of orange eyes I had ever seen.
Stop.
George's.
Is it my turn now?
I believe
Please
so.
tell me that this is George Lucas. Please tell me that this is George Lucas.
Okay. George's mouth fell open. What on earth is that? He whispered. Oh, sorry. That, I said, slowly smiling, is a Gungan, with 2 G's capitalized, both of them. Me so smiling to see you, Gungan beings, suddenly leaping forward and embracing me in a big hug. Hello, Jar Jar Binks, I smiled. Now I had followed Jar Jar for some time. I had seen all of...
Did Joey freeze up for the rest of you guys?
Yeah, I don't hear him
Yep,
anymore.
He is completely gone. I don't even see his video.
Oh.
No.
Obviously.
Oh, there he is.
Oh, okay. There we go.
Did you... Oh,
No, the
wait,
audio.
where was... Okay, I have to read this again. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna go for it now. Now, I had followed Jar Jar for some time. I had seen all of his films, and so was always so upset and amused that many people found him annoying. I just thought he was adorable. Make the note here that I'm reading, I'm not speaking for myself. Probably because I recognized so much of myself in him. Not physically, obviously, but because he was so friendly and eager to help. He was also a nervous wreck, accident-prone and indecisive, just like me.
Stop.
Yes, I could tell that. Oh.
Are we?
We're at yes,
Just
I
like
could tell.
me.
Okay. Yes, I could tell Jar Jar and I would be the best of friends. I wanted to project Jar Jar from danger from the outset and make him happy, because goodness knows he was about to make me very unhappy indeed. I hate this. Just referencing, I hate this. Jar Jar was keen to go for a walk, and so off we went. He was interested in everything, and so was more energetic than a puppy in some ways. This is lovely, he said, excitedly sniffing the air, peering into ponds and asking about all the different types of flowers.
Stop.
Oh my gosh, help me.
The shelter assistant sidled up to me? Okay. Sidled up to me. The shelter assistant sidled up to me and discreetly handed me a heavy folder. As you know, this is Jar Jar Binks. He crash-landed on Earth a while ago. Apparently, he panicked at the huge responsibility of flying a craft shortly after takeoff and promptly crashed. We found him dazed and confused, well, more so than usual. But he was very grateful, as you can imagine. She paused, looking down at her notes. Age unknown. But as I say, he has been here for a while now. Now that he hasn't had his fair share of viewers, she added quickly, but we owe it to Jar Jar to ensure he is happy too. And he didn't want to be rehomed with anyone. She paused and looked at me. Until you walked through the gates. Stop.
Can I just have one comment here? The grammar is what's almost more disturbing to me. I mean, like, well is an interjection, but
You're
they
not
do
wrong.
a hyphen,
You're not wrong.
well,
Not
yeah,
wrong.
then a comma. Like, they didn't even use the same punctuation on both sides to like frame their interjection. They used a hyphen and then a comma. Anyway, I'll leave it
I
at
mean,
that.
and then some of the way the sentences are structured don't quite make
This is
quite
rough.
sense. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I think it's Ira.
Oh, great. Where were we again?
I think we're on I frowned.
Yeah.
Right.
This is okay. I hate this. Okay, go back.
All right. I frowned, looking at the ground. But how can that be? I didn't actually go inside, so he wouldn't have seen me. She smiled. No, he sensed you. He said that the girl with flowers was going to be his best friend. What? I spun around to look at her, my eyes wide as saucers. What's your name? She asked, knowing a look in her eyes. Rose, I whispered. She smiled, watching Jar Jar lollop down the road. Jar Jar and Rose, the girl with the flowery name.
Hold it. No, wait, stop.
Wait.
Stop. Hold, pause. Is this Rose from Last Jedi? Is this what this is?
That's what I was wondering.
I'm gonna take that because I know people hate those two.
This was written in 2014.
Okay, but I'm gonna take it as such.
The fact that her husband or boyfriend is named George, I feel like that's intentionally up to George Lucas.
Yeah, that's what I think too.
All right,
Okay,
stop.
is
It's your
Ira
turn,
finished?
Joey.
Okay, your turn.
Where are
Joey.
we? We decided?
Yeah.
We decided to go for lunch so we could get to know Jar Jar a bit more. Upon entering the local cafe, Jar Jar was quick to sit next to me, but even quicker to stick his head into the menu and drool over the contents. I told him to order whatever he wanted. 10 minutes later, a double ice cream sundae arrived with chips. Jar Jar sniffed it all excitedly. Suddenly his tongue shot out, wrapped round a scoop of ice cream, and snapped back into his mouth. Qui-Gon wasn't around to grab his tongue. He gulped loudly before smiling contentedly, but his smile was soon replaced by a look of fear.
Stop.
No, okay. Yeah, give that part to Kyle.
Oh, gosh. Ahem. Misa sorry, he said. I know Misa not to meant to stick my tongue out. I find it hard using these, he said, pointing at a fork with his clawed hand. Why wouldn't that be? Gosh dang it, I hate this. Why, so wouldn't that be okay? I asked. Oh wait, no, that's the other person. I'm sorry. Why wouldn't that be okay? I asked. If that is how you eat, that is how you eat. Well, the last time Misa did that, someone grabbed a Misa tongue and pulled it. Told me not to do it.
Kyle, you're adding Misa. You're adding.
I'm adding it because, of course, I have to.
It's
I
great. I
felt
love
anger rising in my stomach. I suddenly felt protective of this tall, erratic creature who is in need of a good home.
Stop.
Oh my god.
I'll take us to the home stretch. Well, you eat as you like when you are with me, Jar Jar. And if anyone tries to hurt you or tell you off, just tell me and I'll sort it out, okay? He nodded excitedly and gulped down his chips in one go. As we left the cafe, Jar Jar bounced ahead, keen to explore the street. I looked at the shelter assistant, and we exchanged knowing smiles. Loves planet Earth, Jar Jar exclaimed, running back to hold my hand. And me loves you, Rose, and you, George. I kind of want to go through this again, just replace George's name with Kyle.
If you freaking dare, you will not. No, you will regret it.
Taking hold of Kyle's hand, too, it was decided. Jar Jar
No,
would
it
go
wasn't.
home with us.
No.
He would have his room, and we would go on trips and holidays together. We would celebrate his birthday. I would just pick a day and an age, and he would be loved. And we were going to live happily ever after. The end.
Well, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. And you know what? I like the fact that, Jar Jar comes to fall in love with Earth and the humans, because showing clearly our superior planet and species as compared to the rest of the galaxy.
Whoa there.
I'm just wondering how he got himself into this position, because apparently he's a celebrity. I'd seen all his films, which is really, I mean, the word his there, I mean, either whoever's watching the film sees him as a star, or he has usurped George Lucas, in which case this must be a different George. I don't know. There's a lot going on here.
Yeah.
This is pretty interesting.
Oh,
for canon.
or did Jar Jar have like a set of his own spin-off films? That would be interesting, maybe.
No, they must die quickly.
Well, it says his
still
films.
had
I've
Star
seen all
Wars.
his films.
Ooh. Whew.
It said he's had quite a few visitors. Maybe some of those were the movie producers.
But how did he end up like in a pet store?
Good question. That's a fair question.
He just
What happened?
Maybe that's what he crashed into.
You crash into the pet store. You have to serve your time here. Like, just picture
That's
that.
terrible. That's terrible.
As a pet, not as an employee, as a pet.
A picture, though, right? Mark Wahlberg crashes his car into your pet store, and you say, "You have to stand in one of these cages for 12 hours a day. It'll attract guests, and then they'll buy more dogs."
That's true. They could have used him as like a celebrity to draw customers in, but they are willing to give Jar Jar away.
You're right. Well, maybe it's because this is the first human he's really clicked with, He sensed her when she walked.
Right. I didn't know Gungans could do that.
I hate it.
It's something. That's my quote for that's my feedback.
That's your quote for the back of the hardback book cover.
It's something.
All right, bye.
Well, thanks for watching us for this long.
Yeah,
guys.
thank you.